Hey, high levelers, Ray O'Daniel here. And what I want to do is go over a quick high level CRM tutorial because inside of the GoHighlevel platform, the CRM system is the core. If you think about everything in the GoHighlevel platform, the CRM system is the core. It's the piece that's in the middle that connects to every other piece inside of high level. So without a CRM system, all the other features inside of high level really don't mean anything. They don't really work because you don't have all the other pieces in high level work for a specific purpose. And that purpose is to help service a customer or a client. And without connecting that back to a CRM or a contact or a customer or something like that inside of your system, it doesn't really matter. So right now, what I want to do is just go over some of the basic functions that you can expect from a CRM system. And just some of the other cool features that High Level has really just released here in the last couple of months that integrate into the contact level. That's pretty freaking cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First, I'm not going to go over all these, in detail. I just want to go over it from a high level. These are just some of the features that you get with a CRM system that you should have. Contact management. Obviously, a CRM system standing for customer relationship management is there to help keep track of all of your customers, and not just your customers, but all of the customer communication that has ever occurred. Again, ever occurred throughout the history of that contact should be recorded and stored inside of the CRM, and High Level does exactly that. So I am going to try to show you as much as I can. Now, I will have to let you know that because this is on YouTube, YouTube does restrict some of the content that I could show for personal information. So just be cautious of that. But these are some of the basic features that CRM systems need to have in order to really even function. And the thing about this is that High Level has all of these: contact management, pipeline, task management, document management. What if you need to upload documents regarding your customer from agreements or sales contracts or service agreements that you have with your people? How do you do that? Where do you find that information? I'm going to show you how that works. So workflows to even the mobile app. How can you actually integrate the mobile app and get access to that inside of the High Level system? All of that is already built and included. High Level gives you all of it right off the bat, ready to use right from day one. So that's pretty cool. Let's hop into High Level and see how this works. So right now, this is the High Level. This is one of my sort of demo accounts. Now, one of the things I will have to let you know is because YouTube is very sensitive, like every other video platform, about sharing personal information. So if I'm representing a couple of people inside of the CRM system, that's what these are right here, but they have no phone and no email because I don't want to give out any kind of personal information. So these are just generic users, and I'm going to use them as an example throughout this CRM demo. So right now, inside of the High Level platform, when you log in, you will see that the contacts area on the left-hand side is where I'm at. The contacts area is the heart, the core of the CRM system. Without contacts, all of the other stuff is really irrelevant. What good is calendars and scheduling appointments if you don't have something like a contact to tie it back to? What good is anything else if you really don't have a customer to tie it back to? Because ultimately, High Level is a sales and marketing platform built for small businesses to help them run their entire system, all within one easy to control platform. So right now, the CRM system consists, we're going to take a look at the interface and go over just a few of the features right now. I'm going to blow this up just so that you can see it. Let me do this. Right now, here's the main toolbar with some of the basic core features that they're offered. You can click here to create a new contact record if you want to manually create it, but keep in mind, anytime a customer contacts this particular client in this account, whether it be through Google, whether it be through their website, whether it be through a phone call, whether it be through Facebook, whether it be through Instagram, any of those contacts, High Level will create a contact record for that person if one does not already exist. So that's one of the great things about it. You don't need to manually create it unless you want to pull or import people into your system. And if that's the case, I'm going to show you a better way of doing that here in just a minute. Adding a contact really is only good if you really want to add just a one-off kind of contact. Other than that, there's easier ways of bringing contacts into High Level because really that's a waste of time, seeing as how there are several other automated processes that can help with that without spending the time to create contact manually. So right now, if you take a look here for the pipeline change, this right here allows you to simply integrate your, again, customers with your pipelines. Go back to here where we looked at sales pipelines as being one of the main features of the CRM system. So this right here is tied exactly in. If you go ahead and click on somebody, you can go and change and manipulate their status in the pipeline system. Now, we're not going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a little bit, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. But if they were in your pipeline, you can simply open it up, change where they're at, what steps in the funnel or what steps in the pipeline they're at, and manipulate that completely all within the CRM system. But you can also do that inside of the pipeline system itself. And let me just show you that. So here in the opportunity side, I don't have a lot. This is just a demo example, but notice that I have this guest visitor. He's currently in the lead contact us stage where he contacted us, but we haven't scheduled an appointment with him yet. So if we look at this contact here, we can go in and look at him, go to the contact change, and we can completely pull up this form and allows us to choose whatever contact, whatever stage we want to move him into. All of that's completely built into the CRM system. But if you already have them in the system, what you can do is you can just simply click on this and just drag it to any state or any other thing in the pipeline. It makes it that easy. And you can actually have automations and workflows that kick off as they change between one state to another. Keep in mind, one of the other features that we looked at here is workflow and automation. Workflow automations are built directly into the pipeline so that you can say, if somebody goes from one stage to another stage, then do these series of logical steps. So that is pretty cool, and Highlevel has that completely built in. No extra charges for any of that. All the features that we're going to be talking about here are built into your monthly subscription price for the Highlevel system. So going back to the toolbar here, we've got the automations and workflows. So this little crazy little robot here. So if you ever wanted to manually initiate automation, you could click on this right here and then click on the automate automations. And what this will do, I'll bring up a little window where you can click on and then choose whatever automation you want. And you can have any automation that's been published will show up here. You can manually put them into a workflow or automation. Typically, you don't want to do that in a manual process, but you can if you want to. Typically, the automations, depending upon where they come into your system, whether they be through a funnel, like an opt-in funnel, or they contacted you via the website, automations and workflows would automatically bring these people in, and you wouldn't have to manually do this. So other things that you can do here is just simply send an SMS. Again, a very simple, easy thing that you can do with any CRM system. Send them a message, text message, send them an email. Now, tags are a great way of helping you identify people in your system. They're a great way to basically filter your list down. So you can say, hey, if these people are part of a maintenance plan, for instance, let's just say every year they pay for a maintenance plan, then we could tag them as being part of a maintenance plan. And then here we can actually, if we wanted to, let's just say they purchase a maintenance plan, we can click on add a tag, and add a tag, they're part of our maintenance team, our maintenance support. And then at that point, we can come here to the filters and actually use that tag, click on the more filters, and we can actually use all the filters over here to break down all of the contacts inside of our CRM. Keep in mind, you could have thousands, tens of thousands of people inside of your CRM, and that really becomes unmanageable unless you can find people like through tagging, where you can identify people very quickly as either a customer, a lead. In this kind of case, we're talking about a maintenance support where they're paying maintenance for us every year. This kind of case, this is an HVAC company, for example. So they're paying us support to come out and check their furnace and their air conditioning unit every single year. So we might tag them as part of maintenance support. We can actually filter them. We can come here and click on tag. Here on the tags, we can come here. We don't have anything configured yet in the system, but we can choose whatever tag we want here and then filter the list based upon that particular tag. So again, very quick, very easy way to be able to do that. Likewise, if we wanted to, we can remove a tag. So if somebody doesn't want to pay for maintenance support anymore, we can just simply remove that from them so that they don't fall underneath that sort of group of people in our system. Now, I'm going to blow this back up because I know sometimes it's hard to see this toolbar, but we can highlight one person, two people, or we can click on this little bar right here and highlight everyone in it. Again, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna highlight one, but if we wanted to, we can click on delete contacts. This right here will literally delete it from your database and remove it. Now, keep in mind, I'm not gonna, if you click on this little menu option right here at the top, this restore, this gives you the ability, in case that was a mistake, to go back and pull that contact back in and restore it within 30 days of being deleted. After 30 days, it's permanently removed from your system. So you just have to remember to do that, but there is an option to recover that contact in case somebody. The thing you can do is send the reviews. Reputation management, again, is built into the contact system. You can highlight anybody if you wanted to here in this case. Click on send the review request, and let's see what that looks like here. You pull this up and it would just say, hey, send a review request. Do I want to send them an SMS or an email review? I can't do either right now and show you that example because I don't have a phone number or an email address assigned to this contact. Obviously, if you do not have a phone number assigned, that can't be sent an SMS message. If they don't have an email address, and they can't be sent an email review. So they have to have a phone number and email address typically to be able to send these review requests out. But if you wanted to, you could send these things out manually. Now, keep in mind with Highlevel, there are workflows that can do this for you. And there are even AI systems built in here that can actually respond to review requests and things like that you get inside of the Highlevel system. But again, it's a little bit outside of the CRM tutorial that we're going through now. So next thing that we got is this export contacts. This is really great because as you build your list, one of the things that is always a good practice is to go through periodically, and it could be at least every month. Just have your office manager, your receptionist, or somebody go through, come over here and highlight all of the records in your CRM system, export, and then keep all of those people out into a separate file. Now, again, nothing is 100% bulletproof, but you want to make sure you never lose a contact record. And this is a great way that Highlevel gives you to export all those out. And if you wanted to, you can even import that into another system if you'd like. Now, speaking of imports, this right here, this import contact field is, again, what I talked about here when I was saying creating a contact record. You can import contacts. So if you get a file like an Excel file, a CSV file, a comma separated value file, This right here is a way that you can pull in. So if you're using a separate system and you're migrating over to Highlevel, you can just export all the people from all your contacts from that system in a CSV file, and then you can import them into Highlevel, all using this main import process. Now keep this in mind. You could have, let's just say 10,000 people that you're bringing in. And that process could probably take 5 minutes, maybe 10 inside of Highlevel to bring those people in. The biggest thing about it is that inside of here, when you select this, notice that there's an upload and then there's a map field, this thing in the middle. This map field allows you to actually map maybe custom fields that you have in with the contact records of Highlevel. Now, we haven't talked about contact or custom fields, but besides basic contact fields like name, phone number, and email address, Highlevel gives you the ability to create custom fields inside of the contact record that you can have to store additional information. So let's just say you want to store contact spouse, contact anniversary date, things like that. Those are not standard fields inside of any CRM system. But if you want to create that, I can show you where you can go in, and we'll go over that, how to create a custom field and actually add that custom field to the contact record. So now, besides basic information, you can store very specific, your company specific data, whatever you want to store regarding your contact. You can create fields for that at the contact record and then store those fields or store that data with every contact that you have. So that right there, the mapping field really allows you to map those particular custom fields into Highlevel. So if you do have custom fields in your other system, you can definitely bring all of those values in and map them directly in to the Highlevel platform. So that import process does take a few minutes to do, but once you do that, everything is good to go and all your contacts show up here. So the next thing you want to do is inside of Highlevel, they have the ability to assign people with particular companies. Now, if you ever want to sit back and add, because obviously you're going to be doing businesses, if you're a business, you're going to be doing business with other companies. If you want to keep track of that company information, this is where you can actually assign people to a particular company. Click on this, assign to a company, and then you can either add or update or remove from the company any particular names that you want. So again, that's very important because that way you can group all the people that work for that particular company together and potentially even use that as a filter to filter people that says, give me everybody that works for this particular company. And then that way you can quickly and easily find them. Now, the last thing that they got up here on the toolbar is how to merge contacts. It's inevitable that if you deal with the CRM system, you're going to get people who maybe they signed in one way with one email address, and then they did something else. They signed in a different way with a different email address. Now you've got a duplicate contact record. How do you merge those contact records together? Then this is what you would do. You would simply highlight at least 2 records. You can do up to 10. It says up to 10, but you would highlight at least 2. And I'm going to blow this back out so you can see the screen. And it would pull up this that allows you to merge these 2 together. Keep in mind, you need to select which one is the master record, and the master record is the one that has the primary data that's true regarding this person. And then at that point, once you come over here, maybe this person has some additional data over here on this side. Let's just say they haven't selected this, so you might want to select that. And then you would simply click confirm here and move forward. Now, I don't want to merge these people, but the contact merge field is very important because if you have duplicate records, it could create contact information problems with people logging in to maybe it could be an online course, or specifically in the new Highlevel communities area. That's a big problem because the email address is the login specifically for communities. But anyway, that's the basics of the CRM system inside of Highlevel. Now, Highlevel has released some cool features here in the last couple of months regarding the ability to create other objects inside of your CRM system other than contacts. Let's just say in this kind of case, this is an HVAC company. So what if we wanted to keep track of, we might have several technicians. Let's just say we have a dozen trucks out there that our technicians use for these particular things. I can actually include additional objects that I want to store data from inside of the CRM system here inside of Highlevel. And notice if you take a look at over here, I actually have one set up called vehicles. So if you take a look at this, again, I have a whole other video about how to create custom objects and do the associations and things like that inside of my YouTube channel. So you might want to look at that if you're really interested in creating additional objects for this. But an object doesn't necessarily have to be a physical object. It could be a non-physical object like a contract or an agreement, something like that. But you can create additional objects inside of Highlevel now that you can keep track of. And this is just an example. Imagine if you were an HVAC company, you came in here, you can keep track of all your vehicles. So now you've got the VIN number of this particular truck, what contact, what person is control of this truck, when the last oil change was, and when was the last odometer reading on the maintenance. So all of these things can be kept track of inside of Highlevel. And again, if you think about this, you might not use it on a daily basis. Some of your clients may be able to utilize this feature because they may want to keep track of additional data outside of a contact record itself. And if you wanted to, you can associate a vehicle with the particular contact very easily. Again, go take a look at the other video I've got over custom objects that goes over all of this process and how you would actually build custom objects and do associations. But the great thing about it is that adding this custom object field allows you to extend in a sense, the CRM system to include other things other than just customers. So again, customers, vehicles, agreements. If you're a veterinarian, it can include pets. You might include a pet or an animal as an additional custom object. There's no limit to what you can do here inside of Highlevel. They give you all the building blocks. It's just up to you to build it. Now, the last thing I want to do is come in here to the settings of this, and then come into the custom fields area and show you the ability to create a custom field with regards to a contact or any other object that you build inside of Highlevel for that matter. So if you click on the add field here, you get all of these different types of field types: text, multi-line text box, a number, a phone, and specifically if it's a date, you can use a date picker here. But for right now, you can pick anything that you particularly want. Let's just say if we want to click here for a single line of text, we want to keep track of something with the contact. And let's just say we'll just call it, I used this earlier, contact spouse. Now here it actually lets you choose what object you want: contact, opportunity, and yes, you can create custom fields in the opportunities and pipelines area. That's something you can do, or in the new vehicle object that we created, or any other custom object that you create. So you can create it at the contact level. Here at this group, this allows you to, these are like folders, allows you to organize all of your custom fields into certain groups, making it easier to find inside of the contact record. So I'm going to put this into additional info here, and I'm just going to click save. Now, when I do that, now what I want to do is hop back over real quick and show you where that is. So if I go into any particular contact here, and I'm going to scroll down, and notice here, there's a couple of different fields. Notice we've got this additional info folder here. I can simply click on this and now see there's a contact spouse, where if I wanted to, I could record the spouse's name here exactly in the contact record, and then have access to that throughout the entire Highlevel system. So if I wanted to create an email template, I can use this contact spouse inside of that email template, because now it's a part of the contact record. And all the data that's within the contact record, Highlevel has access to throughout the Highlevel system. It gives you complete access to all of that. So this is just a way that you can extend the CRM system inside of Highlevel to include more data than just what comes standard in most CRM systems. You can create objects, create associations, and really make a very extensive platform to go and build all your connections between your contacts, customers, objects, and things you have going on. Guys, I hope you really found this video useful. I hope you picked up a nugget or two of information. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave comments. I answer them all the time. I do appreciate you hanging in there with me. And just, if you have not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button. I am completely looking to grow this channel. Really, one of my goals is to be the best Highlevel YouTube channel out there, at least one of the top 5, hopefully top 10 in there. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.